Hi everybody, welcome to YSCOM Driving, and today what we have here is the facelifted Hyundai Kona. Okay, the car is going to be launched tomorrow and we are getting a little short preview. Now, we actually tested the Kona about 6 months ago, and that was the previous one, and on the day that we actually took the car out for test drive, that was the same day that Hyundai Korea announced the facelift. And here it is. After 6 months, we see the vehicle here, and there are two variants that are here first, the base, and this is called the active. Okay, the difference between the base and active is just some features. Mechanically, they are the same. In terms of the facelift, the main changes are in the front, where you see a wider face, and this is called the cascading grille. It looks a lot better than what we had before, and of course for the active version, this is the active version, which is the higher of the two, you get LED lights and LED, what you call DRLs. Okay, there are also some changes on the back end, but we'll look at that later. Okay, what else is different? This active version gets 18-inch wheels, and the front and rear changes to the features actually extend the length of the vehicle by 40 mm, but the rest of it remains the same. It's still built on the same chassis. It's still a B segment SUV, and with a 2.6 meter wheelbase. Now, it was also briefed to us just now that about 70% of Hyundai's product line will be moving towards the SUV market, which actually makes sense because there is a big movement in the world towards SUVs. So they will have compact SUV, then they have the mid-size SUV, and then they have the large SUVs. So the Kona will be the B segment to us, what we know as B segment. Then there's the Tucson, which is slightly bigger in the C segment. Then we have the Santa Fe, which is in the D segment. And they have a new one, which is actually bigger than even the CX-9, and that's called the Palisade. And the news is that the Palisade is already in Indonesia and doing very well. So I suppose Hyundai Malaysia will be looking at that direction too. So at the same time, Hyundai will have the Sonata and the Elantra as their sedan models. So the new Kona, or rather this facelifted Kona, will have the 2-liter version. So this new facelift gets 149 PS at 6,200 RPM and 180 Newton meters of torque. 0 to 100 happens in 9.7 seconds. And okay, so we have a little bit of exciting news. The transmission for this, of course, it's front-wheel drive only at the moment. The transmission will have what you call a Smart Stream IVT. So the word on the street is that it feels a lot like a DCT. So we are just looking forward to seeing how it works. And there are 8 virtual speeds. And the 2-liter engine follows Atkinson's cycle. I suppose it is because of emissions and all that, because the Atkinson cycle engine seems to do better in that department. And top speed is 198 kilometers per hour. So let's take a look at the other side of the vehicle. We have an early announcement on the price. The 2.0 Active will retail at 136,888, and that is priced on the road without insurance, whereas the standard will be 119,888, and those seem to be pretty good prices by my judgment, right? So we hope to see this vehicle do well. Okay, moving over to the other side, we see here before us, this is the standard version, and the differentiation between the standard and the active version is of course the headlamps which are bulb halogen, and the rims are 17-inch and they're single color. And of course they have a different batch of colors for the two specs, but there are too many colors for me to look at. So here we look at the Active, which has a nicer set of rims, and these are 18-inch. So the difference is actually the two-tone rims, and also the colors are slightly different for the two, although there are some what you call standard colors. And here, looking at it from the side view, it is 2.6 meter 2600 wheelbase, and that's Shamsul. Hi Shamsul. Okay, that's Shamsul. He likes to go to Genting because he says YSCon goes to Genting, so why can't I go? Of course you can go, Shamsul. And I know he did an Ativa video, so if you just key in Ativa Genting Highland, you see my video and Shamsul's video. Anyway, he's a very accomplished driver, right? Okay, so back to this Kona. The rear lights are different and the rear bumper is different. So again, you have this top light and bottom light. So this is the approach that Hyundai goes towards the look of the SUV, and I think it looks okay. I'm okay with this dual light thing. And so let's have a look at the engine. I'm going to open up the engine compartment, and of course for this B segment we get a stick to hold the bonnet up, and the bonnet looks like it's made of steel because it doesn't feel it's lightweight. And here's the engine. It's transversely mounted. Yes, as we said before, it is a front engine and front wheel drive. So this says here double overhead cam, 16 valve, and this is the Smart Stream engine that has got what is the equivalent of dual VVTi. So again, you can see that engineering is quite seamless. You see a lot of weight saving techniques here, features to save weight, aluminum mountings, and even the intake manifolds are plastic. So that seems to be the trend that everybody is following. And of course this is, let me double check. Yes, it's a drive-by-wire throttle body, and here is the intake. And the intake has got tubing that brings it up to here, and just under here is where the air intake is. You can see here it's quite high. So yeah, good for Kuala Lumpur flash floods. So it's good. The only reservation I have is that the headlights are very, very low down in the bumper, and because they are low down, the impact issue will be it will get damaged more easily. And of course LED lights are legendary for high cost. Yes, and of course these fog lights, they are also, these are not LED, these are just halogen fog lights, and they are yellow lights. Now there's a reason for this. LED lights won't cut through fog or mist so easily, and these yellow lights will actually help you to see through any mist. So it'll be very good if you go to Genting at night, yeah? But other than that, there's not very much mist elsewhere. And so here you see the weight distribution. The engine sits slightly ahead of the front wheels. Okay, so this is the Kona, and Shamsu is inside the car, so we will move to the other one and look at the interior of the standard vehicle. Okay, so there are going to be some differences in the interior, and you can see here this is the standard version. Seats are mechanical, and this is fabric. And also of course mechanically the cars are the same, yeah, it's the same engine. And actually I'm quite impressed with the fittings, and the design looks pretty nice, and the what is changed between the old and the new is that this center console has improved, and you can see here the aircon controls are analog, but in the active it is digital. Yeah, so but the common thing is you get electronic handbrake, and this is the steering. Of course there are no pedal shifters, and I forgot to tell you, later they will have a turbo version coming. Actually it's because they couldn't meet the demand for these vehicles because they're selling so well, and that's why they have to actually start by introducing the 2-liter. The 1.6 turbo will have a new engine horsepower of 198, but we don't know when that is coming. And you can see here they have traction control and hill descent control, and that's pretty okay for a base car. And here is the back seat. Yes, we can see that there is what you call drop down seats for the rear. It's 60/40, and well, we reviewed the previous one before in terms of leg room and all that. I think it's pretty decent for a B segment vehicle. You can't run very far. And here's looking at the boot. Okay, it's a manual boot, and yes, it's a small boot. Oh, there is no spare tire. Yeah, that's the tire repair kit, and yes, but you can put in a space saver should you want. Okay, so this is the rundown on the Kona, and let's have a look at the active. This 136,000 ringgit version of the Kona comes with additional features that are not available in the standard. It has front collision warning together with braking. Yeah, it can also sense vehicles and pedestrians. It also has driver attention warning, and another one that's good is called leading vehicle departure alert. So if the car in front of you in a long queue starts to move off and you are drowsy or playing with your phone, something beeps to tell you the other car has moved off. And also it has high beam assist, and on top of that it also has lane keep and lane departure warning. And the lane keep actually helps you to stay in between the two lines and not bounce you from end to end. And also it has a blind spot monitor, and it's a little bit more advanced, because if there is another car that's around you and you're about to hit, it will brake for you. And also the same system will tell you about safe exit alert. That means if you're about to get out of the car and there's a car nearby coming by, it will give you a beep to warn you. And finally, there's a sonic device that tells you there is somebody in the back seat to remind you. And there is also the rear cross traffic alert. Now on top of that, both the cars have got your traction control and your ABS brakes and your stability control. Yeah, so the ADAS system is the add-on that is only available in the active. Alright guys, so that's a quick look again at the active Kona, and again here is the standard Kona. Alright guys, so thanks for watching our video, and till we meet again, bye bye.